It's me, the wizard. Hey. Oh, what a great time to get a frog in my throat. As soon as I say anything to you. Oh. So, welcome back to it. This is Wizard Wednesday. I'm Kelly Sievertson. This is my thing. I would say that I'm the host, but really I'm the whole production. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Today we're going to be drawing some stuff. You know, in case you're familiar, Wizard Wednesday is kind of like where I hang out with my ideas, right? I'm an artist and I'm a tattoo artist and full-time illustrator in Chicago, Illinois. And I've been a nerd for my whole life. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. But I've been playing tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons for 30 years now. And, there's just kind of a consistent, constant narrative and little building blocks of worlds and stuff floating around in my head. I like to draw them, and I'm going to draw them with you. Here, we're going to talk about gaming. We can talk about the world. We can talk about fashion, although I don't know anything about it. We can talk about anything. That's the greatest part about being able to do what we want. We can do whatever we want. So, without further ado, I guess. Man, it's been a long time since I have seen all of you. We're going to take a look at some stuff that I did. Oh, hey, what's up, Salty? Good to see that you are here with us. Yeah, that's right. Tuesday is the new Wednesday. Also, Thursday can be a Wednesday. Really, anything can be a Wednesday. If you try hard enough, if you believe in it, in yourself, If we work together as a team, we can make Wednesday whenever we want it to be. Yeah. The last time I was hanging out with you guys, I was drawing this map. I was drawing this map of, just the idea of playing around with some modules and stuff that I've kind of thought of. Or, I guess maybe adventures that I've thought of. And I have been thinking about making them into modules. Maybe put them on Roll20 or something like that, or have them available for you. Thank you very much, Salty. You believe what the wizard tells you? Well, he's telling you right now to have a good time and believe in yourself. Yeah, that's good enough for me. But we, like I was saying, I got really into this thing. Really kind of started to draw a ton of stuff. Look, I drew individual logs in these open pit fires in this room. I got into it. Look at this hidden tomb sarcophagus with a false tomb. Got super into this thing. It's a pretty cool story that I have going along with it. That's going to be available pretty soon on my Patreon. Yeah, let me talk about that for a minute. So, it used to be that Wizard Wednesday was a live thing that happened on Wednesdays, because, the namesake. But my work schedule has changed a little bit in the new year. And what I'm going to do is turn Wednesday into a day when I sort of upload things that I've been working on through the week or throughout the month. And Tuesday, this time, around 3:30 or 4:30 Central, I'm gonna go live and hang out with you, and I'll kind of talk about what I'm gonna release the next day, what's going on. I figure it's a little bit better anyway. Noon was pretty cool, while everyone was not going to work, but it seems like lots of people are going back to work these days, and that's good. There's no reason they should skip work to watch me. But I do want to hang out with you guys. I miss all of you. So. That being said, if you're in the chat, please say hello. I wanna see you there. I wanna know that you're here to have a good time. And we're gonna draw some stuff. right? Obviously, why the fuck else would you be here? Let's see. What do these look like? It's been so long since I've used them. Look, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, that'll work. That's gonna be fine. Yeah. So in this module, right? In this little kind of adventure that I'm making, that this is a map of. I just imagine this character, right? Kind of a pivotal character in it. Kind of working behind the scenes. It's a typical like ancient magics destroy a place, and hundreds of years later, it's sort of rediscovered, and the party is confronted with a couple things, a couple outcomes of that being rediscovered. So, but the character in it is not human. The most central character is a real weird looking character, and I'm a little bit hesitant to tell, to even say what it is, because I just would hate to ruin it for anyone. But I also assume that if someone's buying it, I would assume, if you're following me on Patreon and you want to run this module, I guess I would kind of assume that you'd be a DM, so you would be in on the surprise. Hard to say how I feel about it, I guess, a little bit. Man, I don't know how to draw this from memory. Hold on. Gotta look up some reference on my space phone. My dog's unhappy about that. Oh god, they're so creepy looking. They're so creepy looking. Yeah, so this character is a particular kind of, I guess, monster that I have not really played before. I don't think that this particular one is anything that I've put in any of my campaigns. It's a demon from the it's a demon from the abyss. That's where demons live in D&D. But it's kind of eel-like. It's has kind of the head of an eel. So if you don't have mana to spend, how will you get the pup treats? Yeah, I know, it's going to be tough. We're not going to do any pup treats today just because poor Bam Bam's tummy has been acting up a little bit. So we're gonna spare him. We're gonna spare him today. But we'll work on it. I'll figure out a thing to do with him. We'll get them back. They'll be part of the stream again. Don't you worry about that. God, I don't know how to draw threatening shit. Everything I draw that's mean ends up looking like it's like an excited dog, you know? We'll get it. You know what I'm doing? The problem is I'm not focusing on shape, focusing too much on detail. I need to sell the rest of the drawing. Need to sell the rest of the character before I can treat myself to The deets. The sweet deets. Alright. How are we going to do this? What's this figure going to be doing? Got kind of like an eel tail. Do some scribbles. Get some shape going on this beast. But the name of the monster, the demon, is a Wastrelith. It's such a cool name. Yeah, you see it now that you say it, right? Or yeah, you see it now that I say it. It's it's tough, man. I know that eels are kind of a little bit of a weird creature anyhow. I think they're so creepy. To me, they just sort of look like bad drawings. Oh. That's so creepy. Like, I'm sure if I was a fish, I would get real, like, uncanny valley problems from eels. Because they just don't look like completed thoughts. Oh yeah, I'll spell the name. It is a Wastrelith. They're real bad dudes. Okay. And we're going to give him some shoulders, collarbone. See, this is going to be the underside of his belly, so it's going to roll that way and hit the top as it comes over. It's not really that much of a dynamic pose, though. It's a little bit weird. Let's see what happens if we rotate it like that, kind of. And maybe bring him over like that. Yeah, I think so. I think that's all right. Let's see. Oh god, yeah. Ugh! I forgot, they're so creepy. They got these, like, big bodies, but these, like, kind of small heads. They're so creepy. These kind of, like... It's almost like instead of having horns, you know, like a demon might, they kind of just have, like, creepy fins. Super good. Such good character design. And top of the neck is coming down here. Yeah, that line's going to be a lot better. Which means shoulders, right? Rib cage. Cool. Yeah, hey, again, if you are in the chat, please say hey, let me know what's up. Okay. Alright, starting to feel his body a little bit more. I guess they kind of don't really have long necks, but... Or at least not according to the artist that got paid by a big company to draw it. But I like the idea of them having some fucked up anatomy, man. God. They're so cool. Kind of, like, the ones that I'm looking at have these, like, super creepy, like, hook hands. You know, like, let me see if that's good. Sick. They are just aquatic. And I typically haven't messed around with a bunch of aquatic stuff. Some of the most time that I've spent in an aquatic environment as a just in I guess in D&D at all, in any role-playing game, was actually when one of my players let me take a break, and he ran a campaign that was nautical. We got shipwrecked a couple times. It was pretty tight. That was when I learned how incredibly overpowered combination of control water and water walk is. I mean, they could probably flop around you on land if they wanted to. So, one of the reasons that the end of the year was such a shit show for me is I got COVID. It sucked. And while I was really sick, I also was kicking a caffeine addiction, right? Or like, you know, a caffeine dependency maybe. So, I gave up coffee for the most part. And it's been a little bit of a weird existence now without brew. So, I've been drinking teas. It's kind of okay. Gotta like really get that back there to make a dynamic pose. Even more? That's just looking crazy. Sick. But yeah, so we did this like nautical theme. This was years ago. It was pretty fun. But that was really kind of my biggest encounter with running anything that was, you know, aquatic. Yeah, I'm feeling fine. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. But, you know, it sort of threw off my end of the year plans and transitions from, you know, doing stuff to doing other things or whatnot. So, you know, rolling with it however I can, which plays a little bit into some of the changes that we'll be doing with Wizard Wednesday in the year coming up. I think I talked a little bit about my plans for the channel, and I still do have big plans for it. I think I just scrapped this arm altogether. Yep, I think that's what we're doing. Cool. Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna start moving into making more digital assets for gaming and whatnot, and tying that into more art that I make in more of a permanent basis, instead of just doing illustrations for stuff. There'll be illustrations that are tied to either, modules that I'm making for Roll20, or they'll be tied to like making tokens, making commissions for people's characters. Oh, you know what? I actually have a couple of tokens from this module that I made while I was sick. Let me show you. They're pretty cool. Is it this one? Yeah, these are meant to be like super small, right? So like, that's what they look like on the screen. But I have a bigger version too. Just making some undead to hang out in this old shrine. Should be pretty cool. And I was able to retrofit like this old drawing. This thing's like, man, I think we did this on the channel like a year and a half ago. Super fun. Really good piece that I like. I think we're gonna tilt this a little bit. And I'm gonna play with this neck. Cool. I have this feeling that you should have like big gills just like all over the place. Big gill. Yeah. You know what? Roll20 is a thing that I have wanted to get into. It's just kind of a platform for running games online. And I never really gave it much effort because I was just so used to doing games in person. But when the pandemic started, my group and I started doing weekly online games, and we've been doing that since, I don't know, April of 2020, something like that. And I'd always kind of had like Roll20 on my list of like, you know what, I should probably learn how to use it, or at least like get a better sense of what's going on. But I finally one day was like, you know what, I'm gonna make the transition. So it's like, it's just it's just a platform. It's like you can put in a map and it has like a grid that things can snap to, and there are tools for like highlighting areas or revealing areas, hiding areas for your players, and each player like gets their own little piece. Sort of takes it a little bit out of theater of the mind and puts it more onto like board game realm. Like playing with miniatures, but in this case it's like playing with digital miniatures. Digiminators. I feel like it's in there somewhere. Digimon? Something like that. Yeah, but it's pretty handy, and we actually just did our first all Roll20 session last night, and it went pretty well. Still learning some stuff. I'm really good at creating things on the fly in my head, and it's a little bit difficult to create on the fly if you're new to Roll20. So my intention is to help that process out a little bit, making tokens, basically making like miniatures for little monsters and characters and furniture for the setting, all kinds of stuff. Dungeon dressing. should be pretty fun. I'm having a lot of. I'm having a really good time making content for it, and just sort of, I get to make like the whole package. Yeah, exactly. Making stuff you can just throw in and be prepared to do random shit. That's exactly it. And that sort of goes along. I think it was like the first couple of months of the pandemic, maybe, that Dylan, who runs Dweeb Squad, they and I made a random dungeon generator. That was like one of the first things that we did. It was such an undertaking. But they're super cool. They're super fun to work with. And I think I might put forth like a little bit of effort into making that a thing that's kind of like a polished version. Kind of like a lot of what I want to do with Wizard Wednesday is just move through a lot of the stuff that I have created with all of you or with other friends of mine, and just give them like a good polishing, make them into a thing. Hey, what's up, Arya? Good to see you. That's right, it's the first Tuesday stream. Welcome to it. Really glad you're here. This tea is to the both of you. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. It's it's nice. What's the overall shape? This is a weirdly shaped thing that I'm not entirely sure how to wrangle this beast. Like, this is a weird fucking monster, man. Oh, you're leaving work, so it's a good transition away from work. Yeah, good. I'm glad that works out. Very handy. Do I know what that's like? There needs to be something down here. Oh, maybe it just... Okay, yeah. Just needs some rocks. Rocks or something. A little bit of abyssal coral. It reminds you of a Trogdor. It does have a little bit of a dragony feel. I'm hoping that we can kind of get away from that a little bit. But we'll see. Yeah, man, the original art of this thing is so good. I'm trying not to copy it too much, but it has such a cool feel. It like just feels like something that would dominate and live like in an abyssal reef, like somewhere way, way deep down in the bottom of the abyss where it dwells. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna pull away from Dragon. Also want to create a little bit of space. Between that head and that body. Maybe try to highlight that lack of space right there too. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm not sure if they would have like extra arms, but let's see. Let's do a little test. Let's see how just... Okay. Okay. I'm feeling it a little bit. Taking some cues about how they kept it looking real fishy instead of draconic. Really, really don't want to steal too much. I try not to look at art when I'm making art, but this is such a specific, kind of tricky thing. I feel like I want to make sure that I'm taking the right steps. And I think, honestly, that decision that I made to give it a long neck is kind of like what's giving it dragon vibes. And I own it. That's fine with me. Am I familiar with pipefish? I don't want to be familiar with pipefish, I think. Give me 1 second. I'm back. I have to be my own moderator. Pipefish? Ah, man, I don't know. I'm gonna look it up, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna be sad. I have a feeling that I'm not gonna like it. Oh. Wow, I really thought it was gonna be so... I thought it was gonna be so much more than that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, they're like kind of adorable. I don't want to turn these into like... I don't want to turn them into pinchers. I don't think. Do I? Man, that might be really, really... Just don't want it to look like oven mitts. I feel like we got like pretty pinchered out when we did Becky so long ago. Everything evolves to crab anyway. Yeah, that's a good point. feel like we can just do something so much more interesting with that. With that pincher. Whoa! Little foreshortening. Alright, we're starting to get like a little bit. Oh man, Will, so good to see you. What a great dude. Thank you very much for stopping by. I gotta email you about Level Eater and about how stuff is going. But I'm with you. I will I guess maybe I'll text you tomorrow or something like that. Really good to see your face. For those of you that don't know, Will runs Level Eater, an event that I am a big fan of here in the city of Chicago. Oh, you know what? I think I forgot to put the link. All right. Oh yeah. We are golden. Taking up a real big amount of this canvas. One of my pet peeves is when I do this a lot. I have to really keep on myself about it, but when you see like the shape of the creature, or this, it's almost always creature with me, but like the shape of the composition, when it too closely mirrors the shape of the canvas, I feel like that is folly. You know, like there should be some different things going on, working in some different dimensions. Don't make your composition the same shape as your canvas, right? Make some art. Gosh dang it! Hate that though. What do I really want this to look like? Do I want that coming up over there? I think I do. I think I want like Where's that tail gonna go? I think I want... Ugh, yeah, see, I'm doing it. It's too close. Everything is, like, too balanced. It's not going to be interesting if it's too balanced. So let's pull some Japanese dragon tricks. I know that I'm trying to make it not draconic, but the back fin coming up over the top. That's a big climb. Ugh. Nope. Okay, we're not going to go that big. We're going to tuck it off here. Bring it down. Make some art, gosh dang it. Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard. Yeah, alright. When I'm concentrating, I get quiet. I apologize. I think our music ran out too. What a bummer, man. Put it back on. Cool. Guess it's a playlist. I'm so used to like 8-hour long streaming videos on YouTube. I'm just looking for something like just some ambient, you know? One of the things that I like so much about this this monster is that they're kind of they're an easy bad guy, right? Because they're really like kind of a Captain Planet bad guy. Like they're kind of like sponsors of pollution and corruption, right? So like wherever they go, wherever they are, this like polluting, corruptive nature of like the abyss comes through and starts like, you know, wrecking natural landscapes. So it's really like it's a pretty easy dramatic question to direct, like to direct your players, you know. One of the things that I've been really paying a lot of mental energy to lately is like how to encourage DMs to stop doing Monster of the Week campaigns where they're just like throwing new beasties at their players as if like, you know, as if their players are playing like, you know, Monster Hunter or some like dope video game. But those video games are still fun. They still give you that serotonin. If you don't have a lot of story going on, but I feel like, you know, and that's cool. That's totally a valid way to game, and I'm not trying to shut anyone out or disenfranchise anyone. I just think that so much more can be offered through D&D, you know? So I try to think about stuff, you know? And one of those things, it keeps coming up a lot, is like give your players dramatic questions, which is more of like a what will you do now? And with the Wasterlith, it's super easy to get them moving into a direction that like works as a campaign and doesn't feel too much like railroading, because you can be like, there's them just being here is killing everything else. Sometimes it is cool to have a whole story arc, but sometimes killing monsters is fun. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because my group, I mean, I love combat. I love like well thought out, good strategic combat. When my players come up with something that like truly surprises me, it's like so good. But when I try to give them a campaign that looks a little bit too much like Monster of the Week, they almost like run from it, and that makes me kind of giggle. Like they've become too accustomed to my traps, to my tropes. Trope traps? I probably got some of those. I think we can go like even looser and crazier on this tail. I think we can make it like some sort of big dorsal fin, and then like Still not quite wild enough for me, but we're gonna keep going. I think maybe it's those things we need to. Those need to start talking to each other. Yeah, we'll get there. It's gonna be fine. Ooh. Maybe like a little. Can I make that read like a tail flip right there? I bet I can if I'm really, really clever. What would that even look like? Eh. I remember check out dragon eels. Alright. I'll Google some dragon eels. Oh, okay. Terrifying face. What? So cool. Let's take a look at their tail. Whoa. Okay, yeah. Alright, I can take that. Alright, we're getting there. I bet we can do it. Why? They're so mad right now. And I don't even know why. Maybe. I think where I fail with fish often, puppers are definitely going to pup. Absolutely right about that, Aria. One of the places I think I run into with fish is that I try to give them too many, like, mammalian facial expressions, and they end up looking like... They look like they're surprised that you showed up at their house unannounced. As opposed to, like, homicidal. You know, and when we're talking about a demon of pollution, we probably want to go more with the latter. That's what eels look like most of the time, anyways. Just surprised that you showed up at their house unannounced. Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep it. Maybe we need some. Do we need some whiskers on it? No, they come from like more of the front, right? So that would be more like a spine. That's going to be a little bit too thin, I think. Ah! Damn it. These fucking teeth. They got the joke. Wait. Oh, they got the "they told a joke and are waiting for you to laugh" face. Yes. That is that's exactly what face they have. All right. Well, the face. Playing with those big, fat gills. Yeah, it does have a telling a joke feel. I'm gonna keep going with it. I see some stuff that might be problems. But we're gonna solve it when we get there. Oh yeah, that's right. Man, I was trying to think of like. I feel like I've just been doing a lot of scale patterns and stuff on stream. I was like, man, what was I drawing last time? But it was our feathered pig, Phalord, Pig Zeblior. Yeah, these gills are too big. Just as I thought. All right. It's not always fun when you're making up anatomy with an audience. Not always fun. Afraid someone's gonna call me out and tell me that I do not have what it takes to be Fishmaster. It's looking good though. Need some tea. Need some fucking tea, man. Yeah. All right. I do really like the idea of a crustacean with fins. It's a strange aesthetic, but I really fucking like it. It's funky, man. Mm. Don't love that though. Getting ahead of myself. Okay. Little form. Yeah, okay, that's better. Okay. I'm gonna keep moving. Keep moving down this thing's weirdo form. Where do we switch? Where is it? Cool. Oh, I had the best story to tell you. Okay, so before before the holidays, before I sort of like disappeared from streaming, um, I had spoken a little bit about the Charizard challenge with my nephew, who got into Pokemon. I found out his favorite card was, or his favorite Pokemon was Charizard, and I wanted to give him a foil of his favorite card, but I wanted to make sure that he was into playing the game before I gave it to him because I just didn't, you know. Okay. All right. So this is what happened. I had plans to meet up with him and his father, who's like one of my best friends, and my brother-in-law. His okay, so one of the tattooers that I work with, he owns the shop. His wife is my wife's sister, so we are like, we've been best friends, or we've been really good friends for a long time. I consider him one of my best friends, and now we are brothers, so we all go to like the same holidays. And we had a small get-together planned, but it was ruined because I got COVID. So I couldn't go, which meant that I could not challenge my nephew to a game of Pokemon. The winner of which was going to get the foil Charizard, right? So as time was getting closer and closer to it, I found out that his dad was kind of interested in learning how to play too. His father and I play a lot of like Magic the Gathering together, or we did when we had free time. And so I was like, hey, we've done drafts before with like Magic. What if I bought a whole box of cards and we did a Pokemon draft with your son, with my nephew. He was like, oh, that's such a good idea. So we did it. I finally, this weekend, got a chance to hang out with the fam as a whole. Not as a whole, but the fam as a unit. And we threw down. And we did a draft. And he was as patient and paid as much attention as I could expect from a 10-year-old. And then he lost. He thought that he was like losing because I got like. He's kind of at that age where he knows now, he's learning it, but he didn't really understand the difference between like cool cards and cards that are useful. So when he was drafting, he kind of just like picked all the cool shiny ones and assumed that he would have like the best one, right? But then he couldn't like do any of the stuff that he thought that he was going to be able to do because he didn't build his deck well. And he was like pretty frustrated for a little while because he thought that he was just like, that there was no hope of him winning. And then stuff turned around and he got really, really close to winning, and his dad kind of like turned it around in the last minute and took the last prize card, meaning that he was like then the champion of the Pokemon draft that we with the rules that we set up. I have no idea if there's like an official way to do a Pokemon draft. It's the first game of Pokemon that I played, but it was great. He being my nephew, was pretty sad, and I could see that he was like, he honestly just didn't like losing. It wasn't even that he didn't get the card. It was that like he didn't understand how he lost, and he apparently spent the whole next day. He went to school, he took his cards with him, and he and his buds have like a free period together or something, and I think that they play Pokemon and maybe trade cards or something, but he took his cards with him so that he could talk to his school friends about it. And I think they got really excited, and he got really excited, and spent the whole car ride, first on the way to school, and then on the way back from being picked up from school, talking about it. So his dad took him to the comic shop, and they bought their first like booster box together, and he's been deck crafting, trying to be the best, he's got the bug. He understands the joy of it now. Understands the anguish of defeat and the need to build a better and better deck. And it was honestly super cool. He I don't have the card. His father has the card, but he made his father text me to ask if I would want to come over tonight for a rematch, so that he could see if his deck is improving with the things that he did to it. And it's honestly super cute. It's super cute. I'm really, really excited that we did that. And he's a really smart kid, and he loves a challenge. And I think that like COVID, especially at schools in Chicago, has been like pretty tough on the psyches of the kids with all the chaos that's going on. So it was cool to see him get like really mentally engaged about something, and that's what we did. It bites hard sometimes also. Yeah, it does. It really does. Reportedly, when they all got home, his dad found an old frame, just an old like little picture frame that had maybe glass in it in the backing, and kept the card in the little pouch that I gave it to them, and just put it in the glass, and then just hung it up on the wall as sort of like a trophy, or like to taunt his son, to give him like, now you have to look at it. You got to look at it every day. And I think that's pretty funny. Of course, it's all good-natured. Winning isn't everything. But it is pretty cool when it happens. Okay, yeah, it's looking pretty good, I think. I'm going to move up a little bit. Come back and do some of those. We lost our music again. Give me 1 second. Your dad used to be merciless in Pokemon and would whip your sister and yourself. That's okay. So it's really cool that he played with you. That's really cool. A moment. Oh, whoa, right on. Yeah, I will be at the convention in Philly in a couple weeks. Um, I believe that I still have openings, but yeah, just send an email. Just go to my Instagram page and just click the email button, and that'll send a request through, and I'll talk to my assistant about it. Yeah, he's a big old nerd. Would play Pokemon Go with you sometimes. Oh, that's cool. I when I lived closer to the shop, I would walk to work, and just as sort of like a walking tracker and something to do while I was walking, I would play Pokemon Go. I don't have like that was my exposure with Pokemon for the longest time. Was like get the old spin ball going. You played WoW with. Oh, that's cool. Playing WoW with your dad, man. That's buck wild. That's really cool. My father is a nerd, but not about anything that is like nerd culture. He's a nerd about like um, urban agriculture and like the arts and crafts movement, or like uh, handmade mid-century modern furniture, like Antiques Roadshow. That's what he's a nerd about. You got to get him with the curveball. If you're playing Pokemon Go and you're not doing the curveball, it's like 25 experience. I think it's like that stuff adds up, man. You're gonna catch like a couple thousand Pokemon. I'm missing my curve a little bit. Oh man, I just had a panic that I was drawing black on the red layer. Made my blood pressure spike. Shit sucks. I hate doing that. Alright. Nope, hate that. Now I'm thinking about all the nerdy shit that my dad does. He had I love it. I love the stuff that he does. But he has or had a fish pond in his greenhouse to help cycle out or to help clean out the oxygen and also create like an in-house fertilizer. I guess fish shit is like very efficient fertilizer. That was pretty cool. Your dad in the mid 80s was the first person in your family to buy a computer and has been a computer nerd ever since. Yeah, that's tight. That's super tight. I feel like the equivalent of that now is like maybe VR. I've been thinking about VR a lot lately. Maybe because actual reality is so shitty. Uh, but, man, I don't want Facebook's meta to be like the first big, like, open world virtual universe. But then I remember how much everyone shat on Facebook, like, when it was new. You know, it was like, who would want to be, like, you know, fucking virtual friends? Like, it's meaningless. And now I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, it was Aquaponic. That's totally right. Man, he had it, like, he's built a couple of them. He's moved a number of times in his like 50s and 60s. He's like 70, he'll be 73 this year. He like still is always doing cool shit in his greenhouse. He was one of the first people to ever talk to me about having a garden that wasn't just for like vegetables, but the importance of also having pollinators, right? And like why that stuff is important too to an ecosystem. I also remember him being the first person to tell me that, like, if the bees died, we were all fucked. I think back on it and I'm like, Dad, why weren't you growing your own weed? You know, for them bumblebees. Exactly, you gotta look out for the bumblebees. But I'm like, man, you had all this shit going on. You had what many weed growers wished that they had. And the knowledge to do it. And really nothing to stop you. I mean, like, aside from legality, but... laws are a threat made by the ruling class against a citizen's minority. Citizenry's minority? Nah, I don't remember. Whatever. He could always start. When am I doing the Kelly and Papa Kelly stream? Well, sadly, I haven't seen my dad in a couple of years. I had planned a big trip to go down and see him. He lives in, like, the hometown, like, really close to where I grew up. And, he has emphysema. So I really want to go see him. But my plans to go see him got, like, first off kind of fucked up because of, like, Ink Master. And the last, like, So I got married in October of 2019, and he came up for that. Um, but his condition means that he just kind of runs out of energy pretty quick, you know. So like, traveling is difficult for him. It's just kind of difficult to be away from like the comforts and the places that you can get rest, you know. But obviously, like, they've been. My stepmom and my dad have like really had to take a good hard look at like what they're doing with their life and like what they're not allowed to do at the moment because of COVID and because it's a respiratory ailment. He already spends a good amount of time on or near a ventilator. You know, he's got oxygen throughout the day, but it would be a real bad scene if he got COVID. So until there are, I guess honestly, until there's like a more reliable testing system, I can't go visit him. But I will text him right now. I'm going to say, Dad, I'm going to ask him about the fish. Hey, Pops. Talking about you on the stream. What kind of fish did you have in your aquaponics? Aquaponies. Nope. Aquaponics. P.S. Do you still have an aquaponics? Do you still have an aquaponies? Aquaponics. Okay. He'll probably get that. I will tell him that. This is my father passed along a trait to me, which is like this never-ending. He never gets tired of the sound of his own voice, which I do not mean as an insult. I just mean that he will. If you get him talking on something, he just won't ever shut the fuck up, which is a trait that I share. So I can't be too critical of him, because it's like looking in a goddamn mirror. I just recently found a photo of the two of us from 2007, I think. It was before I had grown out my mustache, so I just had kind of like a chin strap, you know. I was about 25, and Barack Obama hadn't taken office yet, obviously. The crash of 2008 hadn't happened. It's just funny to take a look at myself and be like, oh wow, you had no idea what was about to happen. Like, if you could have only known the things that would happen to you in the next 15 years. Little tiny babies. And then my best bud just sent me some photos from 2001 today. The optimistic millennial. Yeah, exactly. Little tiny baby with little tiny baby boy dreams. Now I'm old. maybe not an old man, but I'm not a young man. I'm just like a man. You know, like I'm neither overwhelmed nor underwhelmed. I'm just whelmed. Let's see what this looks like without this. Yes, sir, we are getting there. We are definitely getting there. Oh man, so you know what? Okay, well, this will be my segue. So one of the ways that you can, if you're watching the stream and you're having a good time, and you like what I'm drawing, and you want to see what I do with it, you want to see more of those like maps and stuff, you can check out my Patreon. There should be a link to it on my profile. It's not too expensive. It just sort of is a good way to support me if you want to. Totally cool if you don't want to. It also gives you access to parts of my Discord channel where I like tend to leak things and post things and talk about them and whatnot, like the photos of me from 2001. So if you want to see those, head on over to the Patreon, become a patron, and I'll send you a link to it. I'm going to be opening up a free section of the Discord. That way, there's no reason that we can't all hang out, even if we, can't afford to, or, just feel like hanging out for a little bit, free of cost, and that's totally cool too. But those 2001 pics and those 2007 pics, that's going to be behind a paywall, baby. You want to see this face? You want to see young this face? You want to see me without the mustache? That's going to cost you. I also think that there's some... I think I have a photo of me that was taken by a, photographer, like an artist. Like a photo artist? As opposed to like a professional commercial photographer. I had some artsy black and white taken. Not nudes, sadly. There is no proof that I ever was good-looking naked. You can head on to my OnlyFans if you want proof of that. Just kidding, I don't have one. But maybe. But when my wife and I got married, she gave me a picture, the only remaining picture of her from when she was a competitive fitness bodybuilder. And she has what I think is like a really embarrassing photo of me. Like a black and white photo of me. It's just so weird, I found the act of picture taking, taking pictures of yourself just seems so garish, I don't know. I have a hard time with it. I don't want to look at me. Who would want to look at me? Look at me. No one needs to remember this face. You're out of your mind. But I'll see if I can find the photo of me. I think it was from... must have been after grad school, because I was teaching a class at a high school. No, I was teaching high school students at a college. Wow, I'm fucking up this tail. It's looking like broccoli. You're looking like a broccoli stem. Get my head back in the game. Better, closer, warmer. Oh, did my father? Did he get back to me? He did not. He may not text me until tomorrow. How am I gonna do this? Ugh, I hate bent fins. Looks like shit. Let's see. It's gonna go like that. Back edge becomes the top edge. Yeah, okay, I gotta do it. I hate it! Let's probably do it down here too. Ugh. My least favorite. Boomer parents. Totally. Oh man, I don't know what made me think of this, but okay, so follow me here for a second. I don't think I've talked about this on stream yet, but if I have and it's an overlap, that's fine. You know the scene in Jurassic Park where they're in the Jeep and Malcolm is like, he's sitting in the back of the Jeep, right, and they're driving away from the T-Rex, trying to escape it. Oh, hey Salty, thanks, appreciate that. You can find it on the Patreon tomorrow. You can also find it on the Discord. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good dinner. Those of you that remain here can hear my story, can hear my pontification. So there's that scene where they're driving away from the T-Rex, right? Now, gasoline isn't just dinosaur bones, but it is dinosaurs, you know. There's no way to really prove what portion of gasoline is not dinosaurs. So there's a chance that T-Rex, right, and using the premise of the story, that DNA could have been from a dinosaur that died, and the particles of that dinosaur that died decayed, went through the putrefaction process, whatever, and was then used as a petroleum product to become gasoline. Uh, then that dinosaur was cloned, put into frogs, whatever, and turned into a T-Rex, right? Oh, spoiler alert! If you haven't seen Jurassic Park, that's how they make the dinosaurs. But there's a chance that dinosaur's blood and guts and bones and whatnot made it into the gasoline that's in that Jeep, and it is helping. It's helping the Jeep escape itself. I mean, it's possible. But I like to think that it's true. I like to think that that's how it happened. You think spoilers are okay now? Hey, I mean, I don't want to get hit with the ban hammer, the likes of which that I myself throw. I once blocked a tattooer. It's pretty petty, but he spoiled the key moments in The Force Awakens. Posted it on Instagram. Like a fucking doo-doo head, man. And I told him that he was a doo-doo head. And I blocked him. That was a long time ago. I still have not unblocked that motherfucker. I hope he's watching. Because that was a real asshole thing to do. Yeah? People don't ever get that chance back. You fucking ruined it. Hope you're happy with yourself. Yeah, Jurassic Park is 30 years old. You're right, but I don't want to alienate anyone in the community that maybe hasn't seen Jurassic Park and is just holding out for the right moment. Who knows? Who knows how it goes? They're gonna love the talking DNA. So good. Alright, I'm going to try to get the outline done of this real fast. Then I'm going to have to call it. So I got to go take care of the puppies. I got to get dinner ready. Responsibilities come and due. Can't spend any more of this evening lollygagging with my friends on the internet. That being said, I probably am going to try to sneak in a game of MTG Arena. Nope, hate that. It's going bad. Oh, I see the problem. Damn. Yeah, we're going to call that good for right now, I think. I feel good about it. Let's take a look without the red. Yeah, alright. And a little test I'd like to do. Does it still look cool like that? Flipped? I think it does. Cool. Well. Why is it Southern? You may know. Well, yeah, I mean, if we don't know 30 years later, we're not going to know. Michael Crichton's not going to, he's not going to tell us those answers. So, thank you so much for hanging out. Please like and subscribe if you had a good time. If you find any of this helpful or funny at all, let me know. And again, check out my Patreon. It's just Wizard Wednesday Patreon. Should be a link on my profile. Feel free to find me on social media. It's just at Kelly Sievertson on Instagram. And I will see you next week. Thank you very much. This is the wizard himself saying goodbye. Take it easy. Have a good night.